Three Steps to Quickly Awaken Your Psychic Abilities by Sandra Ray. I'm gonna like her video, like my video. Let's see if this is some pretty good advice or if it isn't. I hope that it is, though. You feel me?
In this video, I'm sharing three simple steps to awaken your psychic abilities. I'll explain what the difference is between psychic powers and how to tune into your predominant psychic ability. And I'll give you some tips so that you can start straight away tuning in and get going. So let's start with
This girl got some heavy avian energy.
the definition of what psychic is. So, according to the dictionary, a psychic is a person who claims to use extrasensory perception to identify information
There's some Octorian inside there, too. Some avian Octorian stuff.
hidden from the normal senses,
There's a few other things I'm getting to, but I'm gonna just leave it at that.
particularly involving telepathy or
All right, let
clairvoyance.
me let me go back to it since
So,
I was talking.
to identify information hidden from the normal senses, particularly exception to the dictionary, a psychic is a person who psychic is. So,
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get to the. I'm trying to find what she's actually talking about. She's defining what a psychic is, though. I understand now.
according to the dictionary, a psychic is a person who claims to use extrasensory perception to identify information hidden from the normal senses, particularly involving telepathy or clairvoyance. So, what does
All right, real quick, my fault. I'm not trying not to pause so early anymore, but I just want to say this. You peep how she gave the definition of psychic? That's that Autorian shit, bro. I'm telling you, that's that Autorian shit with the avian shit, because avians are pretty intellectual too. You feel me? She had to break down the definition first. She had to make sure that we actually know what the fuck the word means. That's that Autorian shit. Y'all know I be doing the same thing on my Autorian shit too. Come on now, I'm not playing. I really be able to read nigga shit, bro. That's why I be offering the services down below and shit like that. But anyway, enough of that shit. Let's get into this video. Wait, last thing I would say is that on my Patreon, I do offer a PowerPoint that also helps you tap into your own star signature. You feel me? But anyway, boom.
this mean, and what is the difference between intuition and psychic senses? In the book Three Magic Words by U.S. Anderson, he describes intuition as the following. So he says, intuition describes our recognition and
My fault. You just people I should keep on trying to define the words and shit, bro. She's doing that Autorian, bro. Y'all niggas can't tell me, bro. She's straight Autorian avian here. You feel me? A little bit of some other shit going on, but Autorian avian shit heavy, gang. I ain't gonna cap.
the following. So he says, intuition describes our recognition and use of the great truth that mind is greater than matter and that the universal subconscious mind contains the knowledge of all things and all times. So to me, really, the difference is that psychic powers are a honing of your natural intuitive abilities. It's using your intuitive abilities to such an extent that they are deepened and enhanced, and that leads to greater insight, and that is called psychic abilities. So we'll go deeper into it.
That's interesting. I never really thought about it like that, but I could see what she's saying because it's like so psychic also kind of just refers to like the mind and the psyche, but like a psychic person, like she defined, does have like other powers and stuff like that too. So it's like they kind of used their psyche and the powers of their mind in order to do crazy ass shit like telepathy and stuff like that. You feel me? And intuition, right? The definition that she kind of stated kind of flew over my head a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but with what I already know myself about intuition, intuition is your ability to just know things without logical thought. You feel me? It's like using higher faculties of your mind, which one part I did catch here was when she mentioned the subconscious mind and how the subconscious mind has all the information that you need. That's essentially true. So it's like you don't really have to think intellectually about certain shit if you already contain all the information on some level of your mind, on some level of your psyche. You feel me? So if you're using your psyche to such an extent if you're using this instant knowing, let me run it back a little bit real quick, right? So intuition is your ability to know things, right? You feel me? And that partially comes from the fact that you contain all the information that you need within inside of some layer of your mind, even if you're not aware of it, because your mind's a group of information. You feel me? And you have information that comes from the physical plane, but you also have information inside of your mind that comes from higher spiritual planes, but it just happens to exist on subconscious levels. Now, your intuition is your ability to instantly know things. And the reason why you're able to instantly know things beyond thought is partially because you contain all the information that you need with inside of yourself, with inside of your mind. You feel me? So, with being a psychic and using the powers of your mind, it's like if you developed your intuition to such an extent, if you're able to instantly know things to such an extent, you can start using this latent knowledge within inside of your psyche in order to essentially do crazy things like telepathy and other psychic things like some may say leaving your body as a psychic ability and all these kinds of things. You feel me? So her definition of how like being psychic is kind of like pretty much tapping into your natural intuition and then growing upon that. I could fuck with that. I never really thought about it like that, but I could kind of see where she's going with that shit, and I could fuck with that. I'm not gonna lie, that was hard.
It in a moment. But just to know that psychic abilities, it's not some secret power. It's not something that some people have and others don't. Everyone has the capability to awaken their psychic abilities. Some may have worked on it more than others. Some may be more naturally intuitive or psychic, but definitely it's available to everyone to awaken their psychic abilities. So, how do you do that? So, three things. Firstly, acknowledge that your natural sense of intuition is there. So, everyone has this level of intuitive guidance
Real quick, I think that is a good base first thing to do, right? Understand that you have intuition because your intuition is like is like the first start of being psychic, like she said. So far, she's framing this pretty well. I could fuck with it.
that is always operating in the background. And if you ask yourself, when was the last time that you thought of a person or somebody came to your mind and then they rang you or they messaged you? And you might have thought, oh, that's just a coincidence. But what was really happening is they sent a signal, they thought about you, that energy wave arrived, and you received that. And it's your intuition picking up on that. It's your intuition picking up on them thinking about you, and then your phone rang or the message came through. And we all have that. We've all
Facts,
had those times. And
facts,
if you are particularly intuitive, if you do use your intuitive muscle, so to speak, then you'll probably find it happens more often. So,
facts.
what happens is we
That
often
shit,
ignore
bro. My girl. Now that's so facts. Though. I'm sorry I'm pausing so much, but I want to really back up what she's saying, bro. Bro, my girl. Whenever I text her, she be like, "Bro, I just thought about you, bro," and like that should be so crazy to her. And I'm trying to get her to understand, like, yes, like this is normal. You feel me? Because pretty much whenever she texts me, bro, I was usually already thinking about her. You feel me? Especially when we go like long periods, like maybe like we're both at work, so we're both getting busy. I'll be like, dang, I ain't get a text in a little bit. She must be busy at work, and then boom, I get a text right then and there. You feel me? Like whenever like small periods of time go on, or I'll be like, dang, I talked to my girl in the group. I wonder what she doing. Boom, get a text real quick. You feel me? That like whenever like especially with people you're connected to, that happens super duper often. And I'm already a naturally intuitive person, so it's like pretty much anytime she texts, I pretty much could feel that. You feel me? Now with her, she's kind of getting used to that to understand that this is like a normal thing. You feel me? So it's like, cause like she's not as intuitive. Like she's pretty intuitive, but like she doesn't do certain practices that I do simply because she's not that aware of them. You feel me? Like I'll be showing her certain shit, whatever the fuck. You feel me? But anyway, like yeah, the more intuitive you are, that the more that stuff kind of naturally happens. You feel me? Especially when you're very connected with the person too. Yeah, facts.
our intuition. And we often say, well, it was just a coincidence. But that doesn't mean that it's not there. It doesn't mean that you don't have it. Even if you dismiss it or call it something else, that is still your intuition at play. And what
Facts.
really happens is the more that we ignore it or dismiss it, the more it seems like we're not intuitive. But that's really not the case because as I said, it's like a muscle and it has to be exercised in order to grow. And you really, when you start looking for opportunities to actively use your intuition, when you start tuning in and rather than Googling everything for the answers, maybe just pausing for a moment to ask your intuition instead. And of course, afterwards, you can go back and Google the answer after you've asked your
Yeah,
intuition and
right.
got some
Yeah,
guidance. But yeah, just start.
that's a real. This is something that I actually did too. You feel me? Like to train my intuition. I didn't even really. I was even in my head consciously thinking though, like I'm about to train my intuition. Now I wasn't even thinking like that, but pretty much, right? There would be periods of time where like I'm trying to like find out something and like I'm intuitively getting the information and stuff like that. And I'm like, I could Google this shit. But I'm like, nah, let me not Google it. Let me actually see if I'm really onto some shit. You feel me? Then I would receive an answer. Then I would Google it. And then I would see if it's really there. Now, shit that I would hate is when I would tap into shit that I couldn't Google because other people either haven't tapped into it or the people who have tapped into it haven't put it on Google yet. You feel me? That's more in relation to like certain like alien stuff. You feel me? Like for example, I discovered these beings called the Zazmari, but no one talks about them online. I haven't found anything about them online. You feel me? Granted, I know that I'm not tripping about them and like what I've experienced with them and shit. Like I've gotten pretty close with the Zazmari and also the Alberians, which I'm actually tapping into Alberians right now a little bit too. You feel me? I talk about them on my Patreon. I already made videos about who they are, their origins, their powers, all that shit's on my Patreon. You feel me? But long story short, yeah, like certain shit I could find online, but like especially like alien shit, I can't always find that online. Or like when I discover like certain new planets and they don't have them online, like certain planets that be in new galaxies. You feel me? Like right now, tapping into Xylanthia and stuff like that, and I can't look up certain planets because shit on Earth, most niggas don't really go to other galaxies and discover new planets. You feel what I'm trying to say? So yeah, bro. But yeah, that's a good practice though. Intuitively getting information first and then Googling that joint after and not depending on Google and stuff like that. Because that's something I have to really do. I have to realize that, dang, I can't always look stuff up. You feel me? To the point where sometimes I'll be forgetting I could look shit up. You feel me? So, yeah.
Starting to use your intuition first and foremost. And then you can look for the answers in other ways. But really, just turning to your intuition first, asking yourself, well, what is the answer to this?
My fault. I got this one last thing. And there will be times where shit, you may intuitively get some information and you look it up and nigga you was wrong. Or shit, sometimes you look some shit up and the shit you look up is actually misinformation and you were actually right. You feel me? This is when it's gonna like, the deeper you get with your intuition, you'll understand what's true and what's not true. But there will be times like you might get like there might be times where you might think that you intuitively got some shit, but then you really didn't. Like you may be like, oh yeah, nigga, I know for a fact that fucking Antarctica's inside this place. You feel me? Then you look up and it's like, no, Antarctica's actually over here. You feel me? I don't fucking know. I'm just trying to think about shit off the fly. But like you may think some shit like you was being intuitive, but the whole time you really wasn't. You feel me? But that's what's gonna help you find out what intuition it truly feels like and what it's like for you to experience it and when it's really just your mind making up bullshit. You feel me? So yeah.
And seeing what comes up, seeing what you're feeling into. And I'll talk more about this in a minute. The second tip that I'm going to give you is to become aware of your predominant psychic ability. So, there are different types of psychic abilities, and most often we refer to the four clairs. Now, there are more than these, but we'll just go through these for the moment because these are the main ones. So, there's clairvoyance, which is clear seeing, clairaudience, which is clear hearing, using auditory sense. Clairsentience is clear feeling, and claircognizance is clear knowing. So let's go through them in a bit more detail. So clairvoyance involves
Real quick, I think that is a good base second step. First step, acknowledge that you even have intuition. Number two, find out the main way that you perceive your intuitive information. Do you hear it? Do you intuitively kind of just have this instant knowing? Do you feel it? Do you get images in your head? Now I ain't gonna cap. I'm pretty sure I made a video and I'm pretty sure I gave this advice about how to activate your BIFs. I say your BIFs, what the hell? How to activate your gifts. And I brought up the clairs. I forgot if that's a YouTube video or a Patreon video or both. You feel me? I'm about to try to find the video as I watch this video. Hold up.
involves seeing images either in your mind's
Let me
eye
go back.
or
Actually, I don't gotta go back. She's talking about clairvoyance right now. You feel me?
in some cases seeing things in the environment around you. So this can involve seeing spirits, seeing angels, seeing spirit guides. It can also be visual cues which you are picking
I remember where it's at. You feel me? It's in my playlist, Reawaken into Your Spiritual Nature. I didn't even have to find a video. I just kind of remember. Like I'm still gonna look for it and tell y'all what video it is. But if you go to my YouTube, right, I have a playlist that's called Reawakening to Your Spiritual Nature. I gotta upload a video. I ain't upload a video inside there in the grip, but the videos inside there's like 16 vids. It's them pretty good videos, bro. Them just be like 30 minutes, bro. You feel me? Yeah, it's a video called Activating Soul Gifts. You feel me? Yep. Developing clairs, elemental control, and more. Literally, yeah, that video right there has 183 views. It's a pretty popular video in regards to the amount of views I usually get on my channel and stuff like that. So go watch that video because I do talk about the clairs in that video too. But I want to say something that she said real quick. She said getting messages visually in the environment, right? Something with clairvoyance, right? That many niggas don't talk about, which I got like which like slow down. So I've realized something about clairvoyance before that I'm just now clocking in this moment based off what she said. If you can be chilling in your everyday life and then like you see something happen in your reality, like you see like you see a frog jump on a tree, and then when you see that you get a certain message from that, that's a certain level of clairvoyance where you're seeing something and getting information from that. Because some niggas may see a fucking frog jump and don't think shit about it, you feel me? But you got a certain message from that because when you see things, you can pick up on the information and the reason why you're seeing that thing, you feel me? So what she just said made me think about that. Like a lot of people who like see animals and kind of know what they mean and stuff like that, you may be good at like there may be like a clairvoyance thing mixed with some type of like claircognizance. You feel me? So yeah, but anyway,
can also be
let's see what's up.
visual cues which you are picking up on. But more often, people who are starting to tune into clairvoyance will see images within their mind's eye, and that will be how most people begin to develop it. Now, everyone has a predominant clair, and you can tune into
Yeah,
which
mine's
one
claircognizant.
you're most familiar with or the one that you kind of gravitate towards. So let me explain the other. So clairaudience involves hearing words. And again, this can be
I
in
think we
your
well,
mind.
so I'm about to skip this part just for sake of like time, because I think we all understand the different clairs, right? Like you have clairvoyance, being able to see, clairvoyance. I mean, my fault. Clear audience, being able to hear things, claircognizance, when you kind of just intuitively know the thing, like you kind of just can know it what's inside your mind, and then clairsentience, where you can like feel it. You feel me? I think we all know that. So let's just skip that part real quick.
And really in the foreground, your in clairaudience is you to a past from the I knew he was telling me the truth or whatever it is. You might say, oh, I don't know why,
She's on
but I just
claircognizance right
know
now.
that I need to leave this room for some reason. You don't have a knowledge of why that is, but you just have a knowing that you need to leave the room, or it could be
Yeah,
something else. But
claircognizance.
just that knowing, that clear knowing without maybe awareness or evidence of why you know that.
Yeah, that's what
So
I
that's
be on.
claircognizance. So as
Yeah.
I or would clairvoyance, I'd be more visual.
I
So
think
even though
she might have went through all the clairs by now. She's doing like a little recap, so I'll let her do the recap.
I would use all four of them, my go-to would be clairvoyance. I'd be more visual and I would have a preference towards clairvoyance. For example, if I'm tuning into a guided meditation for my group, I'll close my eyes and I'll see it playing out. I'll visualize the guided meditation and then I'll simply describe what I'm seeing for others to experience. And it's funny because recently inside Fiercely Spiritual Family, we connected with the angels. We were working with Barakiel, Fuel, and Ariel. And we were doing a powerful energy purification and psychic activation. And it was something that I'd gone through in my mind. I had walked through it myself, seeing all of the steps, and then I shared it with them. And if you're interested in experiencing that for yourself, I'll leave a link at the end of the video to download this Psychic Awakening guided meditation. I'll also put a link below in the show notes and in the comments.
Alright, y'all. So I always leave the original video link inside my description box down below. So if you want her guided meditation, bro, go to her video. I have the link down below. Then go get that shit. You feel me?
For you to download it. So begin to explore how you sense the world.
See, one thing about me, bro, I don't get mad at niggas promoting their shit. You feel me? Because I, you know me, I'm gonna always promote my shit, whether it's free or not free. Got paid for it, so she promoting her shit, nigga. This her video I'm watching, nigga. So if y'all want to fuck with her shit, go to her shit. You feel me? No cat video. Her the link for her videos down below.
And which of the four clairs you lean towards, and then start using it. So that's the third point. The third tip is to practice, practice, practice. So once you're aware of your predominant clair, if for example you are clairvoyant and that's what you lean towards, the visual side of things, beginning to actively practice using it. If it's clairsentience, start to feel into things. If you're making a decision, ask, how does this feel in my body? And just really tuning in. Is there a sense of ease or is there a sense of tightness and constriction? And what does that tell you about the decision you're about to make? And you'll find it really interesting because when you begin to ask these questions, um, I am making the decision, should I go for it? Yes or no? And tuning into yes, how that feels, tuning into no, how that feels. And you'll notice it's really palpable, it's really quite strong. And that only grows and grows over time as you use it more and more. So start with easy decisions or easy choices. Pick something like, what will I have for dinner? And feel into the different options. Your body will tell you what it wants. Or even if you want to use visual cues, close your eyes, and an image of a certain food might pop up. And then as you grow more confident, when you've started using this for the easy things, start feeling into more complex questions and decisions. And then as your confidence grows, you'll find you really begin trusting it more and more. And with practice, you can get really good at using your clairsentience or whatever clair it is that you're tuning into. And you might even notice that other clairs begin coming to the forefront, they begin opening up for you as you flex your psychic muscles. So it could be that you're leaning into clairsentience, but suddenly you notice clairaudience also starts opening up for you because you're embracing it and you're using it.
That happened to me with my clear cognizance. My clear cognizance will start becoming clear audience because it's like as I started like as I understood more concepts and as I got more definitions for more words, it's like my intuitive knowing started becoming words that I could hear. You feel me? It's like I'll get this intuitive knowing, and I'm like, okay, bro, I feel this like intuitive knowing. Let's turn this bitch into words real quick. Then I would actually hear the words for it. You feel me? Then it'd be times where I'm just meditating, then I just hear like a fucking like I hear like a whole being just say some shit really fucking loud. I'm like, what the hell, bro? What the helly? But now, real quick, though, I do want to say this too about her video. This is a pretty good, like basic base video. You feel me? Like she said, step one, acknowledge that you even have intuition. Number two, find out the main way your intuition expresses itself through the clairs. Number three, practice your clairs. And it is true, as you practice your clairs, certain other clairs may start popping up. You feel me? Like my clair sentience started popping up real quick with my clair cognizance too. It's like I would like have this knowing, and I also feel that knowing. I could turn it into words and shit like that too. And with the feeling shit, the feeling developed into clairvoyance because like it's like as I felt it, it's like the feeling would make an image. I always said it's kind of like imagine like you have like a ghost, right? And then you like throw paint, not a ghost. Imagine you have like a person who's invisible, right? But they're still physical. You just can't see them because they're invisible. but then you do like paint on them, and then the paint sticks to the body, and they can kind of like see their form a bit. You feel me? It's like there'd be like an image that's invisible to me, but then my feeling kind of goes over it, and then like it kind of shapes out this image. You feel me? So that's kind of how it was for me. But yeah, I have my own video though. You feel me? I include elemental control inside that shit too. You feel me? But yeah, it's like 30 minutes long and shit like that. My playlist and shit. You feel me? I'll let her finish out her video, then we gonna end the video and stuff like that. You know?
So your psychic abilities can become your greatest ally if you use them. If you don't, they will waste away. It's like that saying, use it or lose it.
Facts.
And, really just set the intention to start today. And most importantly, have fun with it. Experiment, be curious, and enjoy the process because that's what it's all about. I know some people can get frustrated if things aren't opening up as fast as they'd like to. And really, what I would recommend is going back towards being lighthearted about it because when you put too much pressure on yourself, when you place too much importance on it, then that's just a constrictive energy and that's not going to work. So you have to be open, you have to be lighthearted and bring that energy to it. So to start you off, the link to download the guided meditation should be here. And this
I bet go check out her stuff. You feel me? She has her links down below her description box, right? Yeah, the courses and all that, bro. All that. Guided meditation. Yeah, it's down here. All that shit, bro. You feel me? We gonna end the video right there. I love you all. I'm gonna catch you in my next video. Peace. The freak out.